Hello, and thank you for joining me for this KnowledgeSync for JobBOSS² video. Let's give your business alerts that matter. So let's talk a little bit about KnowledgeSync. Well, what is KnowledgeSync? KnowledgeSync is an overall business monitoring solution. In other words, it's going to monitor the data that's in your ECI solution to be able to tell you what's going on when you need to know about it. Let's think about what you do today. More than likely, a lot of you go in, you run reports, you look at dashboards, you peruse through data, trying to find what it is that you need to know. A lot of times, you don't even know about things because you aren't looking for them. And the system isn't telling you because you don't have a solution that alerts you like KnowledgeSync yet. So let's look at what KnowledgeSync can do to transform how you think and how you work daily. KnowledgeSync watches your data and it says, all right, I want to know about things that have happened. Things that have happened might be that you want to be alerted when an order goes into the system, when a job shipped, when a purchase order is received. You might want to know about things that haven't happened. We didn't start working on a job when we were supposed to. We missed shipping that job. We didn't get paid by our customer. Or let's take it a little bit further and talk about things that might happen that you want to be alerted of. You might get an order if you follow up on quotes that are about to expire. Or you might be able to find out if purchase orders are going to be late if you ask a couple days ahead of time and they let you know that they're not going to be on time. Or you might want to know when a job is supposed to start so that you ensure that you get materials here. So think about what a game changer it would be instead of you going in and looking or not knowing things at all. If your system really reached out and told you, hey, this happened, didn't happen, or could potentially happen because now you know about it. KnowledgeSync comes with 26 out-of-the-box alerts that businesses have already told us are huge for them. These are alerts that the system will tell you about that are impacting what we do on a daily basis. When you get the system, these alerts can just simply be set up for when you want them to run and who you want to receive them, and immediately you start gaining the value of having KnowledgeSync in your business. You can also customize alerts if you don't want it to look like we have it looking. If you want to change the format or the layout or the information, you can do those types of things as well with our KnowledgeSync product. So about what those business game changers are and what some of them might look like. If you were communicating with your material vendors and you wanted to know if that material was going to be on time, wouldn't it be great if the system would just automatically send the vendor an alert a couple days ahead of time, or even your purchaser a couple days ahead of time to say, hey, is this going to be here on time? That way you're checking and know before it becomes a fire drill and the material isn't here. What if you could send to your salespeople information about the sales process so that they don't even have to go into the solution? I know a lot of salespeople are out on the road and sometimes they just don't have access to the information that they need right away, or they call into the office asking questions. Imagine if KnowledgeSync could just say, hey, you need to follow up on this quote today. Or, hey, you got these orders this week, just to let you know. Or, uh-oh, this shipment is not going to go out to this customer on time. All of these types of alerts could go to the people that really are impacted by whether something happened or not. Another big one is knowing what's going to affect your business profitability. For example, I'm over what I estimated on a job. That's not good. What can I do about that? How can I maybe make a change on that job, talk to the customer about the fact that it's not going well, and change what the overall result of less profit is going to be by going over on our hours or our materials? Just getting paid in general. Do you have accounting people that are sitting there having to call your customers to say, will you please pay us? Where the system could just simply send out an automated letter to those customers and let them know that you need payment. That could happen 50 times a day if you wanted it to, because you can set up a schedule that will send and send and send until that customer decides to pay that bill. Another one is ensuring quality. In every business, quality is a huge component. So if scrap is reported or we need to rework something, the right people need to know that that happened. Sometimes scrap gets reported and no one even knows about it. But instead, that could be sent over to a quality manager or to a production manager so that they know that that was reported. These are different game changers that will be huge immediately in your business to be able to turn on and let the right people know all of that information. So let's see an event in action. Here in our KnowledgeSync solution, when you set up the system, the information will be here and showing all of the different events that come with the solution out of the box. You can see here, they are easily labeled with the different areas that they impact. In this particular case, we're going to take a look at a shipping event. An event is basically something that happens when KnowledgeSync watches and it finds something. All right? So KnowledgeSync watches the database. It says, oh, something shipped. So we're going to see what happens when the event jobs shipped today with tracking information actually runs. When you first set up the system, you get to tell it lots of different things. For example, you get to set up a schedule. Setting up a schedule is just telling it, hey, how often do you want this to run? Once a day? Twice a day? 60 times a day? Do I want it to run every minute? I could do that. You have to think about what the alert is about. Jobs shipped today, maybe I just want that to run once at the end of every business day. And then it would send out to the appropriate people, letting them know about those shipments. Sometimes there are things that you might want to have it watch for very quickly, all day long. And so those events you can set appropriately. You also tell it what it is that you want it to watch for. That's what the system really is looking for you so you don't have to. When it sees that information, then it says, I'm going to deliver something. In this particular case, we're going to deliver an email. You can also cast information to a web page. You can send out via text, and there are lots of other different deliverables that will be coming very soon with the system. If I take a look here on this email, you can see that I can set it up so that it formats just like an email coming from you or me. You can see that it can be set up in a grid format, so you can make this look the way you want to. That way, when whoever gets the email, they receive it and see what you wanted them to get information about. Lastly, you can set up who gets the email. Who are your subscribers? You can set up standard subscribers, which means that person would get it automatically every single time that it finds the event. But if you wanted it to be very specific to what it found, you can use our advanced subscribers. In other words, in this particular case, for example, if a job shipped to Carter Corporation, it's going to email the contact on Carter Corporation. If it found a shipment for ABC Company, it would instead email to the ABC Company contact. So it's very specific and can get the data out of the database of even who to send to. Now, once we set this up, which is very easy, adding the schedule, taking a look at the deliverable, and then adding our subscribers, it's ready to run. And when we run it, we can monitor its activity. In other words, we can see if the event actually ran when it checked it, if it triggered something to happen, and if it did trigger something to happen, I would be able to go over, in this particular case, into the email delivery and see exactly what was sent. I can see in this particular case, it's sent to someone internal and it's sent to someone at Carter Corp, which is where I shipped to for this particular order. Let's go over into JobBOSS² and see what I shipped. You can see that it created a pack list for Carter Corporation. And of course, this is standard information or standard things that I would do in JobBOSS², which would of course have triggered the alert to actually happen. Email goes out. Then if I take a look in my inbox, I would be able to see what it sent, and it looks just like the deliverable email that I saw in the program. As I said earlier, you can change up how these look. Maybe you want a grid view like that. Maybe you would rather have a list or something of that nature. So you can send it in multiple different formats so that the user can see it the way that they need to. The KnowledgeSync solution comes with out-of-the-box events for JobBOSS². You can see here on the screen what some of those events are, and of course, have immediate value as soon as you get it installed in your facility. Have this information going directly to the people that need to know this right away. So you've seen today how KnowledgeSync can be a huge game changer in your business. If you have any questions whatsoever about how KnowledgeSync can transform the way that you get and see your data, contact your account manager. Let us help you to work smarter in your solution.